Hey everybody, it's your friend Sarmate here, and we're back with another episode of Settlement Survival. I hope you're having a fantastic and amazing day today. And just logging in here, look at this. We get a gift from the East. We get a handful of fireworks, some rice cake dumplings, and some wine. Pretty great. We really could use that stuff. All that kind of thing is great in the beginning of the game, of course. And it looks like we do have some immigrants almost here. So what we're going to have to do is get ready for them. And I want to do that by, let's get some houses started up here. So we put these houses in the last episode, of course, obviously, it was the first episode. And so let's go ahead and get them built up. We are requiring a few more laborers to continue to make sure that all of our buildings are running. So we need somebody for the chapel. Could use somebody for the smithy. Once we get those things working, that'll be great. We'll cover all of our really basics. We got our happiness and our health covered for the first tier. We'll have tools ready, clothing coming in. It'll be great. We still need to obviously work on wood. Wood is going to be a problem for quite a while here. I'm going to do that, of course, by gathering. And then again, we'll go further out and we'll pick up some things that are just a little bit outside of the range of like the main circle here of the town. And it looks like we got some new livestock. So let's go check to see what that is. Ooh, buffalo. That's really good. All right, so as long as we got buffalo, we are going to have another pasture. So we're going to go for a little 7x7, just like before. And here they are rolling up just now, a handful of new immigrants. So we're going to go ahead and grab our town hall and accept those 10 people. That'll be really great. We need these hands to get some of the stuff taken care of around here. Okay, so with those guys, let's go ahead and gather all. We want to grab some of these trees that are right here now that we have a bunch of extra workers. But see, now these guys are going way out here because we didn't finish pulling all the trees up. So let's go ahead and halt that. Because of the distance and it's cold out now, we don't want them to freeze. So I'm going to clean this up just a little bit. And this is the opportunity where we're going to grab the things that are close by to the town. And then if we don't for a while, of course, it'll grow back. And that's what we would really want to have happen. Have it grow back. We'll have resources real close to the town. Okay, so we have this other farm here. I do want to allot people for it. So I'm going to set it up and we'll get rice seeds going for now. We mentioned the chapel. Let's get somebody working in the chapel. And then we'll have one more person for the pasture. That's going to put us at 5. And then let's get somebody working in the smithy. So that's going to put us at 4. So that should be just right. It looks like we got our research institute done as well, which is awesome. But I am seeing a couple more homeless people running around. So that means we are going to need to build a couple more houses. Plop one in right there, and that should be good for now. Let's go ahead and get stone tools selected for our smithy, and so we can get some more tools coming in. We're currently sitting at about 19, so yeah, we're getting pretty low on that. Let's get that taken care of. And one house isn't going to be enough for the people that we have running around right now. So we're going to have to figure out a way to fix that. So I think what we'll have to do is start another little area for a stretch of houses. So what I was thinking about was just building up houses up over in here. But since we use that space for the clinic, I'm not going to do that just yet. Another thing that might be good to put in is this interim housing. Let's do that instead of some more houses for now. The interim housing is going to be our temporary place for immigrants until we have some houses built for them. I think it'll be a good thing to add in. So let's go ahead and we'll do that. The latrine as well. Oh yeah, we're going to need somebody working in that guy. So we'll get that working. And then that's going to put us down to 3 people once we get the pasture built up. But hopefully, with a pasture going here with bison, then we will be looking really great for food. We'll see though. Our food right now is doing okay. We're in the green. Ooh. Look at this. The new year arrived and citizens were going to paste up the Chinese character Fu on the door to show their wishes in the next year. How are they supposed to paste it? Upside down. Character Fu is pasted upside down. That is, happiness is flowing down into you in the new year. Here we go. We got a bunch of glue pudding. That's just a little bit of extra food. Yeah, so the time to start a new town is in the middle of an event like this. All these little boons coming by for us. All right, we got our buffalo. Let's go ahead and get our pasture. And it looked like there that I had turkey as well. Would be a really great source of food. The geese are giving us feathers as well as food. The turkey would just be giving us food. So I don't think that would be a bad thing to get as well. So let's go ahead, we'll plop another one in and we'll get the turkeys taken care of. And with those guys, I think I'm going to expand the farm area just a little bit more, bring a road out. And I would like to put in a couple more of these standard farms. There we go. All right, looking good. We don't have really a ton of workers to work those farms, so we'll just get it set up, and then we won't utilize it right away, but we'll have it good to go when we're ready for it. All right, let's continue to work on getting this housing situation figured out. We need some trees. You know, that means we have to do is mark a bunch to get gathered up. Let's fell that bunch. Sell that bunch. And then let's take a quick look at our iron and stone. Haven't looked at it for a minute. Let's go ahead and gather a little bit more of that. We aren't hurting too bad, but let's stay on top of our stone situation now that we have some stone tools being created. We're using up our stone all the time. And then let's set this guy as a priority so we can get that done more quickly over the pasture. I would rather have this finished and then work on the pasture. So we'll queue it up like that. Let's take a moment and check out our technology points. We haven't looked at them yet. We are ready for farming efficiency. Speed of sowing and harvest is doubled. Very, very, very important thing to get. So we're going to go ahead and grab that. And then for our next technology point, let's focus a little bit on the health of our town. So let's grab the herbalist hut here, and we'll go ahead and activate that guy. And this is going to increase the healing speed of cholera. So we're going to prevent the spread of it. So this is a very important piece to get situated here. Let's go ahead. We'll get our herbalist hut up and running. Of course, we are going to be running a little bit low on workers for this, but for now, we really need to get this thing going. So that's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and plop that guy down right there. That'll work just fine. And we're outside of our marketplace, so we're not using up any of that real estate for housing. So that's not too bad about up over there. All right, so this is ready. So let's go ahead and turn these off with P, remember? And then I'm just going to set that to rice so we're prepared when we have those extra workers. All right, we got our interim housing looking great. Another really important thing that we are going to be needing here pretty quickly probably is going to be the graveyard. I was just looking at this little guy right here. We get a benefit health and happiness boost when we first start the game. It dropped to 5 from 10. So I was wondering what we can do about our happiness. I was looking it over in here, and proper burial right there is at 0. So let's go ahead and we'll get our service cemetery, and we'll get a little cemetery started up here someplace. We can move these around. We can delete them. So it's not too big of a deal where we place it. But let's go ahead and we'll do a decent size one. 128 rocks. It's going to be quite a few, but we'll be okay. We'll be able to handle that. And I'm looking at our workers, and we're at 9 workers here, and I'm not sure how I miscounted that badly. I know I'm not very good at math, but so we got to work on that a little bit more. We can put some more people onto these farms and make sure that our food is looking really nice. You're doing really great with that. Plus 600 nearly. So yeah, really happy with the situation on that food. So maybe instead of going for more food, let's see what else we can do here. We could put a couple more people in our forester hut and start to build that up a little bit more. Be able to fell trees and plant trees a little bit better. I think what we'll do kind of along those lines is let's build up a forester's hut right next to it. And then what we'll do, we'll make one of them be the planter and the other one the feller. So we're going to go ahead, we'll set up plant trees. I'll probably have 2 people working as planters and then 1 person working as a gatherer. And that way, hopefully, we will stay on top of the trees and we'll always have stuff to gather. Ooh. Citizens were attracted by the beautiful lanterns on the river and found paper notes with riddles and New Year wishes hanging from them. Try to solve the lantern riddles or collect the paper notes. Try to solve them. Some citizens managed to guess the lantern riddles and won a reward. What do we get? 99 dumplings. Nice. A little bit extra food stuffs, a little bit of happiness. That's great. That's what we would like to have right now. All right, we'll go ahead and we'll get that guy started up. Now, we do have disasters on in this playthrough, and I don't typically play with disasters, so I'm bound to make a couple mistakes. If you guys see me start to do something dumb like that, let me know. And I would prefer to not have to deal with all the rebuilding of disasters all the time. But I figured we'll give ourselves a little bit more of a challenge with them this time around. We can always turn them off later too if we get sick of it. From that, I was thinking we probably want to double up each of our corrals, because if the disease comes by and we aren't prepared, we are going to lose one of our critters. So I think what I'll do, and since these guys only take 1 worker apiece, I think I'm going to do 3 more 7x7s. And we'll get it started up. Now, until we are able to divide out our pastures, we're going to be kind of stuck. But our geese are already at 9, so that's great. Bison are at 5, so that's also pretty good. And then turkeys are at 9 as well. So yeah, we'll divvy that out, and then we'll get some more of those good resources, of course, and then a little bit more extra meat too. So I'm really happy with our food stuff. Let's go ahead and have another person work on the well. You can see we're in the red there on that. And we do need to figure out some more permanent housing for these people. We're at 9 out of 24 on there. So let's take a quick little look at our area of influence here. And it looks like we could build a couple more homes kind of working this way. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and just do those 2 more houses. And we'll see where we're at for our occupants. I bet you this will be at 1 or somewhere in there really low. We might need another house is kind of what I'm thinking. Okay, so now that January is leaving us and going into February, the snow is melting, so we can go ahead and gather some more things way out further. I didn't really gather anything in the last winter. With 6 laborers around, that's looking awesome. Okay, so technology. So something that I didn't build that maybe I do need to do is going to be the school. So if we go under science, we have school expansion. Expand the school. The capacity is increased by 5, and the school technology output is doubled. Let's go ahead and we'll grab that one. Education efficiency. We could do. The problem is we need paper for this, and I'm not quite ready for that yet. So instead of going to education efficiency, I think what we'll do is go to police station, and the reason being is so that we can start to work down this tree, and this tree is going to provide us with a little bit of happiness things. The theater and the cathedral, that'll be good. So let's go ahead and we'll get police station, and this thing is only going to require cut stone, so we can't quite build a police station yet either. I should have waited. We have to go for cut stone before we can do that. So we'll go ahead and we'll gather up some stones. At least we can do that in the meantime while we're waiting, and then we can build our cut stone guy. Police station, so we know we can't build this, literally just saying. So let's go ahead and go right in here, tuck that guy in, boom, and we'll get that built up once we get the cut stones good to go as well. And one thing that I didn't really look at is the blueprints here. We have the Ruby's Plaza. We can't afford that. Can build more than one. Citizens will set off all the fireworks when lighting one of them. It takes 3 months to prepare new fireworks. That's cool. Well, we don't have the mats for that either, and we don't have the... Well, we could maybe build one of these Moa statues here. Slightly reduce the citizen's stress. Ooh, okay. So that's going to be a good thing. So remember when I was talking about that in the beginning of the last episode there, we were talking about the stress and how it hurt our fertility rate, but right now we're doing pretty well. We have 0 stress, so we don't need to worry about these stones yet, but we will definitely, at some point, try and keep the city's stress as low as possible. Let's go ahead and have these guys make medicinal powder from the herbs. We have 275 in storage, so we should have a little bit of those guys stored up. Be really good and be able to utilize those things. Down over in here, we got our other forester hut operating, which is great, but it did take 3 people, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to minus 2 of those people out of there, and then we're going to have this person fell and plant trees. So 3 people total planting trees, 1 person felling. That should be pretty good at keeping the density up in this little area, which will then, of course, benefit our gatherer's hut. And then later, if we decide, we can put an apiary around here as well, and that'll all help hanging out together. We do nearly have a technology. We could go for that cut stone for the police station, and I think that's what we'll do. We'll get our first little bit here of newer technology with the cut stone. And we can, of course, go for cut stone roads, too, if we do this. So we'll go ahead and we'll get that activated. We didn't quite even get to our regular old stone roads just because we haven't had the ample stone to do so. So let's go ahead and we'll get the masonry workshop placed, and we'll be able to grab some stone. So let's see. 1 stone road is going to be 1 stone. We could do a good amount of the roads we have, but I'm going to hold up, I think. It looks like cut stone roads are plus 75 speed and regular stone roads are 50. So the cut stone road is the way to go. But of course, it's another level of processing that the stone is going to have to go through, so it's going to take a little bit longer. It's going to be more difficult to obtain. So maybe not quite that point yet. We did get a corral completed back here. Let's go ahead and separate out our buffalo. I think that'll be a better choice. So let's go ahead and say buffalo, and we will transfer to, this is going to be corral 4. So let's go ahead and transfer to pasture 4, excuse me. Let's go for 2 and boom. So there we go. We'll have our bison over there now shortly, and we'll start to have more and more bison. It'll be a great thing for sure for us. It can never hurt to have more meat and clothes stuff coming in. It'll be really good to have. Okay, so now the next thing we want to probably do, I'm kind of thinking about getting trading started. We don't really have a whole lot of extra things at this point, of course, but we could maybe sell some of this excess rice we have. We have a little bit of extra food going on here. We can also export some ore as well. But to get into the trade stuff, that's going to start to require a whole bunch more technology points. So I'm not sure if I want to start that endeavor just yet. But one thing I do want to start is the school. I mentioned it, and then I forgot about it. So let's go ahead and we'll get our school up and running here. The school, of course, is going to help the efficiency of workers, but they have to go to school first. So it takes longer for us to get new laborers. Something to keep in mind when you're starting your school. It's a little bit of an investment. It takes a lot of time, but the workers are better once they complete the schooling. I did take that worker out of this pasture that just completed. My thought was, since we are doing so well with food, what's the point right now? Let's get it built up, and if we see any issues as far as like disease coming on, we'll absolutely split out to it. We'll be prepared. And then once we get another batch of immigrants, we will absolutely fill it in as well. But just for now, we're going to go ahead and do that. We haven't quite got these houses done yet. It looks like we are in need of lots of wood. I did mark out over in here, and you can see people are getting cold because I haven't canceled it, and it's far out. So yeah, the other snowflakes are, these people are freezing. We got to get them back into town. But luckily, we have quite a few trees that have grown back right around our little area here, and we got some more goodies coming down the river too. Let's go ahead and collect the paper notes. Okay, so we just got the paper notes. So we know that solving them gave us the dumplings, and I just wanted to see what the other option gave us, a paper note. I'm not sure how we read that paper note, but kind of interesting little thing there. Okay, so yeah, we're going to go ahead and chop down some of these trees and get through this winter here, hopefully. Another thing we could work on is domestic fuels. We're at a whole 0 right now because of the tree problem. Because we aren't bringing in enough wood, we're not being able to make enough fuel, which is then, of course, being a freezing risk for a citizen. So not a good situation. Something that we may want to do as far as our technologies go next is let's think about going to the sawmill. The sawmill is going to be an upgrade for our shopping houses, and we want to get that for sure. We had another event there that we've seen already, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And we got our rice cakes. Good extra food coming in. And I think since that's a special food, that's going to help our happiness as well, which is just going to be a nice little bonus for starting in an event like this. All right, so we are out of that winter now, a little bit into the next year, even all the way to August. I haven't really done a whole lot. We are just pretty much gathering lots of trees. I did shuffle around a little bit our smithy and our tailor. They were right in here, and I moved those guys out of there so that we could put some more homes in. So we have those new homes taking the spot. They are being created. I wanted those new homes because we talked about that for the people who are living in the interim housing. You can still see we got 5 people in there, and then we do have more immigrants on the timeline. So I wanted to account for those people as well. So we got those guys on the way. Let's get some houses done up for them, and then a little bit extra wood. We should be able to make some more domestic fuels, sitting at about 8. We got a lot of work to do on that front. And to help out, like I mentioned, I think we're going to go ahead and we will get to the sawmill, and we can upgrade the chopping house. So see right in here, the kind of problem, I guess it is when you upgrade, you aren't producing anything anymore. So if you had a stockpile of domestic fuels at this point, you'd be doing great. Yeah, then you could do this safely. But I don't want to turn off that chopping house when we don't have a way to continually make the fuels. So let's go ahead. I want to do a water sawmill. They are a little bit more efficient. So we're going to go ahead and grab that guy. And since the water's right there, I figured, why not? We'll just take advantage of it. Looking awesome. And then we are getting pretty low on water. So let's see what our situation is here. Yeah, we're about 30. We're about minus 30. So we got to get another well going on. So let's go ahead and we'll get our well. I always just do the big wells because you're going to need the water anyways, so we might as well go for it. And then let's get that well plopped down right there. So that's still within the marketplace radius. I might move that one out. But the nice thing about the wells is they are the same footprint as the housing, so it's not that big of a deal if you have one in a block, kind of like we have right in here. Okay, so we are in the midst of winter now, of course. We did get another seed. Let's check that out. We got peas. That's a really good one. But the harvest period is going to take a little bit longer. So still right now, rice is the way to go for us. We'll take a little bit more time to get this water sawmill going. It looks like we're going to need some more stone and some more timber, of course. So we're going to go ahead and I'll just collect some more stuff, trying to find some more rocks. Get those brought in for us, and we can get that thing built up. Okay, we got our sawmill up and running finally. So let's go ahead and get domestic fuel on the water sawmill. Now we have one person currently working on it in Luther for us. Let's go ahead and flex some people around here. So we got the workers in the chopping house. We'll take people out of there, put them into the water sawmill. A little bit more efficient method of making the same thing. So we'll get that happening, get a little bit more out of it. Now, of course, we are gonna need some more wood. And I'm very, very tempted. You can see here how well our forester huts have produced the density of the trees right here. I'm very tempted to just take all of these trees down and gather those up. And I think I will do that once we get these immigrants here, and they should be here very shortly. There they are, running down the road there. And I believe we'll get our first administrator too, because we'll hit 50 with the addition of these workers. Our school is up and running as well, which is excellent. We're getting points off of it. Kids are going to school, get better workers. And here we go. Yep, our first administrator. Construction material consumption minus 10%, and weather is warmer. I think I'm going to go for weather is warmer because of the wood situation. I think that would be better. Okay, so, oh, yeah, we had to accept them. Don't forget that. All right, so we accepted those peeps. Let's go ahead. We are going to gather we're going to get all these goodies right in here. Now, I realize that I'm kind of not listening to my own advice and harvesting this stuff in the middle of a warmer time. But I just want the density. That's what I'm going for there. And then it will grow back over time, and then we'll have another nice and dense patch. And maybe by that point, we'll start to move this out a little bit further and continue to have the dense patch, but not right there. With 10 workers, I want to utilize these people for a while in gathering up some goods. I did get another well completed there. I'm going to add another worker in there. Get these guys in here, get some trees picked up. Since we're doing so well with food, I don't have to put a ton of people over here on the fields, which is very, very nice. I usually would have more fields than this at a normal start of a game. So this is a very nice event to start in. And we need to get another tech point too while I'm thinking about it. And what I want to do, we're going to start with some logistic things. I'm going to go down this tree. And the reason I want to go down this tree is because of packet expansion. But we have to get baskets first. So the baskets are going to allow us a carry weight of plus 50. But we need reeds for this. In order to get reeds, we are going to need to go and go back a little bit further for knitting. And then we're going to need to go get reeds out of agriculture and then set up reeds. So it's kind of a thing. So I'm just going to get it, and then we're going to move past it for packet expansion, which is going to increase the citizens' carrying capacity by 80. So that's pretty good. We're going to go ahead and activate that. So now when people go out further, they can bring more things back and won't have to do so many trips. Get a little bit better on our logistics. You can see we're already hacking through this forest pretty well. Looking pretty great. I think that's going to be a decent spot to call it for this episode of Settlement Survival. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me, and I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you on the next one.